But for those of you joining us now, hello, hello, and welcome. So I'm going to be doing the cusp reading like this and also the love connection. I know that I didn't post them on Wednesday and Thursday. Unfortunately, when I did the weekly ones on Tuesday, it took like 3 days to upload all the videos. I am still out of the country, so this is going to be the easiest way to do it. If the connection is kind of spotty or whatever, just know that once it finished uploading at the end and it's completely uploaded to YouTube, I will be going back and timestamping them. Now, not sure if I'm going to do it right away because I'm going to be heading out later. So we are going to be doing again cusp for today to the 30th. So you guys are being cut short a couple of days, but you know what? Everything is on divine timing is what I say, right? So again, I keep on looking at the computer like, hey, you know what, girl? You didn't tell anybody ahead of time. So we're going to start off with Aries and Taurus. And I'm not doing the water today because it's just too much to go back and forth, again, while I'm doing live. But there was this sense before, as I was setting up, right, I set the intention for all of the cusp reading. And Aries, Taurus, there's definitely almost like this sense of, I don't want to say so much fear, is more of a reservation is what I'm picking up. Almost like wanting to go out into something or wanting to expose something or wanting to show up a certain way, but something is holding you back. Something is not allowing you to fully immerse within an energy, right? So when we talk about things like that, what is it that you are afraid of? In the sense of, is it, and the table's going to be moving because it's not stable, so I'm just letting you know. So you see, because I'm not picking up so much about like, oh, I get it now. Okay, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming in slowly again. Setup is different. It's different when you're in someone else's house, right? And you're trying to respect their space and their belief system, right? But there's a reservation here when it comes to yourself as far as like going after something or exposing something of yourself, right? An area or an aspect or a part of yourself. And I don't even know what time I started your reading. Probably like about 40 seconds or something like that, but I'll watch the video later and see. But it's almost like if you go after something or if you start something or you initiate something, you show an aspect of yourself. There's a standard that you're going to hold yourself up to, right? So it's like, you know, if you decide, and again, guys, you know I use the gym as a huge example, right? So it's almost like you want to start an exercise routine. Let's use that as an example. But you know you're going to hold yourself to such a standard that starting up may not be realistic, right? So if you haven't worked out in like 5-10 years, it's going to be a struggle to work out 5 or 6 days a week for like an hour, or even working twice a day, 30 minutes each time. So it's almost kind of like that energy where you're not 100% sure. It's like you want to go, after something, but that bar that you set for yourself, Aries, Taurus, is, and I'm doing cusp, guys. So it's like you guys hold yourself to such a high standard that there's a fear of not meeting that standard. So this has nothing to do with anybody outside of you. This has nothing to do with other people setting standards or bars or whatever for you. This is just you. Like, you want to go into something, but you want to go full blown into it. And you have to be able to give yourself that space to grow. If you don't give yourself that space to grow, then you're really never going to start, right? So, and again, guys, noise in the background. I have no control over how loud other people talk. And you know I'm always playing around saying we Dominicans speak really loud. So there is this sense of like needing to be a little bit more gentle with yourself when it comes to that bar that you're trying to reach, to that space that you're trying to get into, right? Just be as compassionate and as understanding as you are with others, with yourself. So if when you talk to other people, you tell them like, you know, it's going to take time, it's going to take, you know, a couple of weeks to get used to this, or it's going to take time to get this amount of followers, or it's going to take time for this to grow. It's like you need to start applying the advice that you give to other people to yourself. That's kind of like the gist of your week, or your next few days, honestly, because that is not going to be a full week. So needing to be a little bit more, just be a little bit more nicer to yourself. That's really like the only way that I can say it, because you guys are really critical of yourself, at least in whatever area this is, right? Whatever it is that you want to like either expose to the world, or that you want to show the world, or that you want to let the world know of something. You're just like, you want to have everything perfect before you go ahead and do so. And you know what? You can only prepare towards something so much that at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to go with the flow when things start to go, right? Once you finally take that step forward, right? So if we look at like when people are preparing to have kids, like you can prepare yourself. You can read all the books you want on pregnancy, on, you know, babies and the stages and the this and the that. But as someone that has multiple kids at different ages, and I had 3 in 1 year, I can tell you that they all hit those milestones completely at different times. They look completely different, and there's nothing wrong with none of them, right? So it's almost kind of like that. Like, allow yourself to hit your milestone when it is that you get there. Don't try to rush or pressure yourself into trying to meet someone else's milestone. So we're gonna go ahead and if you guys do join and are ending up posting comments, I cannot see them at this moment. Let me see if I can bring it up in my other page on my phone actually. Sometimes I'm able to, sometimes I'm not. Let's see. That's not going on there. So. But there is, let's see, give me a second, guys. I mean, right now nobody's watching, so it's kind of cool in a way because I could just take my time, right? And again, the only reason why I'm doing it this way is to try to get the videos out there for you guys so that I'm not spending like the next 3 days trying to upload videos for you. So we have the Divine Mother Manifest. So you're definitely in this energy of being able, and this is the number 15. So you're definitely in a space where you're able to manifest, you're able to go, you're being told to go ahead and take the leap. You're being told to go ahead and allow yourself to go after what it is that you want. But again, that standard, that bar that you're setting for yourself, you know that you're setting yourself up to fail, right? Because you know that you cannot go full force into something. There are things that are going to be tweaked, or things that are going to come a little bit easier for you. But in order for that to happen, you have to take that first leap, right? So it's almost like you just need to let go of this control that you want to have everything happen in a very specific way. Then we have the number 27, angel of the angel Raspar. I don't know what angel that is, but to be honest with you, we have the number 27, and as you can see, she's holding on to something. It almost looks like I want to say it looks like flowers, right? But she's almost like it's almost like she's pulling them or dragging them with her. But as you can tell, it's like it begins to grow, right, as it's closer to her hand. So it's like the more that you guys emerge, or the more that you guys allow yourself to go with the flow, once you take that initial step, you're going to see that the way that you had it planned in your head, the detail by detail that you guys wanted to go ahead and do this, wasn't really the best way for you to do it. She offers the sacred wine, so drink, with the number 32. So Aries, Taurus, Cusp, your space, right? Your personal space, the space that you are in, right? The space that you're holding in this earth, in this universe, is it has been ready for you to take the leap, right? This is not something about you looking to see if the space is there, if the time is there, if this is there. Everything has always been there for you. The only difference that is changing at this moment in time for you is actually taking the leap and letting go of the fear that you're not going to be able to meet the standards that you have set for yourself, right? And you know, you could have set these standards because you're comparing yourself to others, which we always talk about. We don't do that, right? We celebrate and we honor other people's accomplishments, but we do not compare our own accomplishments to those people, because we're not the same, right? We're not transitioning through time, through the energy, through ascension, through anything at the same time, right? We all have our own rhythm that we have to go through. So for you, for the next few days, that is the challenge, is allowing yourself to go with that rhythm of yourself, right? Is allowing yourself to go through this transition as it is meant for you. Not this list, because we talk about lists, we talk about being organized, but I always tell you guys, you have to be flexible within that, right? You have to allow yourself flexibility. So you have a goal in mind, you're going to go for it, and you need to, and again, I'm going to say it because this is what keeps on coming up, you need to let go of that high-ass standard that you know that you're not going to meet, right? And it's not that it's difficult, it is not that it's not attainable. It's just there is an easier way to do it. And if you hold on that you want to do it that way, you're going to get there, but it's going to be a lot of trials, a lot of errors, a lot of quote-unquote mistakes, and a lot of falling down and getting back up. So Spirit is trying to get you to that destination, that specific goal a little quicker. But you have to sit down and you have to be still. You have to be silent in your mind, right? When we are busy here and there, when we're trying to pay attention to everything, and when we're trying to find meaning in every single little thing, it can become overwhelming, right? Because our brain is overstimulated. And when we're overstimulated now, is it just your mind? Is it just your ego? Or are you actually getting direct answer from Spirit? So usually when we connect to Spirit, we're usually in a still mind, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be meditating for an hour. Again, guys, I tell you, those are just tools. For everyone, it's different. You can sit down a few minutes after having a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a glass of water, and you just kind of sit there and you're just like, and you just breathe, and the answers come. But when you're here and you're like, okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's like the answer can be staring you right in the face and you don't see it. So for you this week, I really want you to practice that stillness within yourself. I'm not asking you to meditate for hours. I'm not asking you to spend hours in nature, none of that. A couple of minutes of just breathing and allowing the clarity to come in. Now, if you find yourself very busy and you find yourself things coming in, I'm not telling you to ignore them. Write them down, have them written down, and then when you have those 5 minutes to spare, sit down and focus your energy on clarity as to what are those things that you wrote down. What is it that you're meant to do at this moment in time? Because as someone that gets messages in many different ways, right? I can see them, I hear them, I smell them, I sense them. They come in so many different ways that sometimes I just have to write them down, but I know that I can't make an actual decision at that moment in time because there's so much information coming in. So then once I have everything written down, I'm like, okay, at this time I'm going to sit down for a couple of minutes and I'm going to allow Spirit to let me know where everything goes, right? To kind of put everything in order, or how it is that everything is going to flow. Now, personally for me, I'm not saying that it's because I'm a Capricorn, because yes, I'm a Capricorn, but I have always been like this as a child, right? I work better being organized. I work better having something, written down like that. I write down with my hand and I'm like, okay, these are the things I need to be taking care of this week, this month, this year, whatever it is. And we're just going to go ahead and let Spirit guide me which one I'm going to start first. I could start with the 10th thing on my list, but I'm not going to get upset with it because I know I'm going to get through everything. So that's kind of like the gist for you guys this week. Go ahead and get something started. Go ahead and jump into something. Health is something that I feel that is almost at the front line of you guys needing to start taking care of yourself. Aries, Taurus, your hydration level That's all I'm gonna say. You know that you need to drink more water. I'm not telling you how much water to drink. Different people follow different routines. Some people drink half of their weight in ounces. Some people drink, you know, a gallon, 2 gallons, whatever it is. It really depends on your physical activity. It depends, you know, what time you're gonna cut off your water. Some people cut it off, you know, 3 hours before bed. Some people drink while you know, they wake up and drink water. But you need to find that balance within yourself. And I feel that once you're hydrated enough, and I know that this is going to sound silly, but once you're hydrated enough, you're going to be able to kind of get into that space where you allow the messages to be completely cleared for you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on over to Taurus Gemini. So this is 16, we're going to put it at 16 minutes. We're going to have Taurus Gemini. So what do we have for Taurus Gemini cusp for today to the 30th? What do we have for Taurus Gemini cusp? You're excited about something. There's some news that is coming in. Something is working in your favor. If you've been waiting for, and I'm not looking at anything specific, it's just I kind of like sometimes put my, like I'll be looking at a wall that is like completely blank, but they're showing me certain things, so I'm not ignoring you guys. If you are involved in a court case or you have been waiting to hear from a court case, it's like everything is working in your favor. So the excitement of knowing that things, I'm not seeing it being finalized, to be honest with you, Taurus Gemini cusp. Now, it's not that it's being finalized this weekend, but, or, you know, between now and the 30th, but there is good news of things moving in your direction. So if it is not in court, there is a resolution of something that you have been waiting for. If there's been issues with like payments being made or payments not being received, whether it is a mortgage or part payment, something of that sort, something is being resolved in your favor. So there is a lot of excitement, but you're being told to be careful when it comes to spending the extra money, because some of you have already planned out. And there's nothing wrong with planning out what you're going to do with money or income that is coming in. But you may get a little too excited when the money actually comes in that you end up spending it on unrelated things. So let's put it this way, and I'm very particular about this. If I want to manifest something, right? I wanted to go somewhere a few weeks ago, right? And I needed a certain amount of money. And I was like, I want to manifest this amount. And it was a big amount to manifest in 72 hours. And I'm not going to lie about it. And I was like, and I want to manifest it specifically for this. And I got the money and a little extra specifically for that. And my dum-dum went ahead and spent the extra on something else when I really wasn't supposed to. Because when I got to that destination, right, it was a spiritual retreat. There were other things that I wanted to do. But I caught myself as I spent the money and I was like, you know, I fucked up, right? Because now I get to the retreat and there's other stuff that I want to do that costs extra money. But Spirit still blessed me and I still was able to do it, right? So it really didn't matter. But it taught me that when you ask Spirit for help, right? When you ask your angels, your guides, whoever it is, to help you manifest money or to help manifest a way to something, right? That is going to help you grow, that is going to help you evolve. You can have 24 hours, you can have an hour left before that said destination, right? And it's going to happen if it's meant to happen for you, right? But you have to make sure that you follow through with your word, right? Do not get overly excited. I got overly excited and I wanted to buy a couple of extra things to take with me. But I kind of like, you know, screw myself up a little. But Spirit was like, all right, you learned your lesson, but we're going to allow you to enjoy this retreat, right? And it was wonderful. It was, something was on my lip. It was really a beautiful experience. And that's as much as I can say about that. With that retreat, it's definitely something that I'm going to be doing again because it was a beautiful experience. So let's go ahead and see with Taurus Gemini cusp. What are the 3 cards that you want to give me, Spirit? So we have the Azula Star of Venus, Divine Mother Manifest, the manifestation cards coming out, and then the Sacred Union. So we have number 26, 15, and 19. So what it is, you have to be very specific, and then people I feel like there's a division when it comes to this, right? Some people say, well, you just say what you want to manifest and you don't worry about the details on how is it going to be manifested. And that is true, but it's also like you have to be specific as to what you want to manifest, right? You can't just say, well, I want to manifest money. Okay. You want to manifest money, spirit can turn around and in like 2 seconds you'll find 50 cents. And you're not grateful for those 50 cents when in reality it was a manifestation of what you asked for, right? You didn't ask for a specific amount. So what I always say when you're trying to manifest, and why the reason why I talk about money is not so much because I'm a Capricorn, maybe it is, but not really. But a lot of us get into a space when we are afraid or we're intimidated, where people say, money is the root of all evil and all of this and that. But money is a currency, is an energy, right? So if you want to manifest something, whether it is you want to buy a new car, whether it is you want to go on vacation, whatever it is, and this is what I do, guys, and again, you don't have to do it the way that I do it, but the place that I was going to was a little bit over $2,000, right? That I needed for four, I think it was like 4 days. It was 3 nights and 4 days. Sorry, I had to count, guys, right? And the time is getting closer, and I'm like, the money's not here, spirit. And I, when I asked for the initial part of it, right, to put a down payment on the spot to hold my spot, the money came in within literally, I think it was like 3 hours. Like I was like, okay, I need this much, spirit, to hold my spot. And this was months before, right? And spirit was like, that's how much you need. Boom, within like a couple of hours, the money was in my bank account. And I was like, okay, so I guess we're going. So literally the weekend before I was meant to leave, so we're talking about like a Friday, right? And I had to leave the following Friday. I didn't have the rest of like the 15+100 that I needed. And I'm sitting there and I was like, and I almost found myself getting into a space where I was becoming fearful. And I was like, you know what, no. I told spirit exactly how much I needed. And that this was the best course for me to go ahead and do, is going to make the way. So this was on a Friday. By Sunday afternoon, early afternoon, I had the extra 1,500, right? So it's kind of like that. So you have to be very specific as to what it is that you want to manifest, right? You cannot just say, well, I want to manifest money, because again, if I go ahead and I say I want to manifest money and I find a penny on the floor, I'm going to pick up that penny. I'm going to be like, thank you, spirit, because it is what is being manifested, right? So you have to be very detailed. You guys have to be very detailed with what it is that you want, but do not try and control how it is that it's going to come through you, right? So personally, myself, I like to work for everything that I have. I like to work for every penny that comes in. So one of the biggest challenges when it comes to humbling down for myself is accepting donations, right? That is something that is very huge for me. Like, I'm like, but I didn't do anything, right? And spirit is like, yeah, you have done. It's just not in the way of working how you normally think of it, right? So when money started coming in for this event, and it was coming in the way of donations, I was shocked, right? I thought spirit was gonna have me do like 100 readings in like a day too. But that's what I'm trying to talk about with you guys, is like, be very intentional with what it is that you're trying to manifest. But when it comes in, do not waste it on something else. Do not waste it on someone else. Do not waste it on giving it or trying to or trying, and this is going to sound horrible, guys, and I say this all the time, or trying to help somebody out of their problem. Because the same way that you have the power, you have the ability to connect with spirit and to ask for things, right, and to allow these things to manifest the same way that they have. And if they're not using it and they need help learning how to manifest, and that's something that you can help them with. But you shouldn't be taking things, and again, I'm talking about things that we're asking for ourselves, right? So if I see an organization that I want to help, or if I see somebody that is raising money for something and I want to help with a certain amount, I'll ask spirit, like, you know what, I want to help this person, I want to give this person, $500, and I'll set my intention. And when I know when those $500 come in, spirit will tell me in my head, remember, You ask for this person. You ask this for this organization. So don't cut them short or don't cut yourself short, right? So what do I have to do? When that $500 come in, I have to release it right away because it came towards me with the intention to go into something else. A lot of times, that is a car alarm, guys. Not sure where it is. I'm in the backyard, so, well, part of the backyard. This part is gated. So let's wait until the alarm passes by. I don't know whose alarm. I think that's a house alarm, actually. Yeah, it's a house alarm. So I don't know how long that's gonna last. So when it comes to manifestation, a lot of people want to put it as this complicated, formulated thing, right? And it's really not that complicated. I think the hardest part, and it's not just for you guys, not just for Taurus, Gemini, Cusp, I think it's for everyone collectively, is allowing yourself to believe that you're worthy of it. Allowing yourself to believe that it's actually going to come in, right? Without having to constantly ask. And that's another thing. When I ask for something, I ask for it once and then I release it. It's hard. Yeah, it's difficult as fuck to do. But it's what has worked for me personally. So kind of like allow yourself to, whatever it is that is coming in for you, money-wise, whatever it is that is being resolved, that is allowing you to have extra income during this time, you have already prepared a way for that money to be spent. You have already committed that money to something, so when it comes in, you have to see it through, and you cannot allow yourself to get money happy in that moment in time and spend the money on something else. So if you want extra spending money, then put it out there to the universe. Tell Spirit, you know what, I want to have an extra $1,000 just to spend on shit that I feel like spending at that moment in time. But if you're trying to manifest for something very specific, then make sure that you're following through. All right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on over to Gemini, Cancer. So Gemini, Cancer, Cusp from today to the 30th. And again, guys, I'm not using the water and cup because it's just, it's not my normal setting. And this is the way that I was led to do it. So Gemini, Cancer, what is up with you guys? I'm feeling a lot of pressure on my root chakra, like almost being pulled down, not so much pushed down, but pulled down. So when I get sensations, not so much of oppression, like something pushing you down, but something actually weighing you down, like pulling you. So there's a difference, right? When I feel this oppression coming in from the top, right, wherever it is in my body, is usually in connections to other people. It's usually in connections to other people's energy, whether I'm aware of it or not, right, when I'm doing readings. What I'm feeling is this, and it's the same house that has the alarm going off. And they're like literally right next door. So, and of course it's gonna be when I decide to do readings. This pulling down of energy that I'm feeling in your root chakra for Gemini, Cancer, if you are a female, I'm talking about more like the uterus area. So if you are a female and you're feeling like pain and stuff like that in your uterus, I'm not telling you not to get yourself checked, because I always, that's one thing, like I'm not a doctor. I am a nurse by trade, but in this channel, it's not, like, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about my nursing license. But in general, can somebody please turn off that alarm, Spirit? Like, come on. There is a disconnect. I want to scream her name, but I don't want to scream it like on camera, because I know who lives next door. She was one of the girls I used to hang out with when I used to come as a child, but I don't know if she's home. So I don't want to scream like her name and be like, yo, the alarm, because I haven't heard. Was she there earlier? We're just going to have to wait until it passes, guys, because I'm not going to be starting, and I'll see if I can edit it later. Otherwise, it is what it is. Hey, buddy. That's next door, right? That's their house, right? That's their alarm? Or is it the house next to them? I know it's loud, but I don't want to scream her name because I don't know if it's her. I think it's her house. Because that alarm has been there for like over 20 years. Like I remember hearing it when I was younger. I was bad when I was, no, I wasn't bad. I used to jump the fence, the wall, and go to her house to leave my house when my aunt used to leave me locked up in the house. I'm not gonna lie. And I remember that sound for the alarm. So just bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna write it here so I can put down the alarm. So this way, when I put the timestamp, you guys can go over the alarm. But it stopped and then it started again. Eso es ahí al lado, se me ve esa alarma. Oh, so we have to wait till the cops get here to turn it off. So it's not the house next door. It's the house, I think it's the house after it. It has an alarm as well because they're out of the country. So anyways, Gemini Cancer, this weighing down, there is a disconnect, and I dislike sometimes the word of disconnect when it comes to your root chakra. But as time, right, when you're going on in life and you're living your life and you're doing all these things, we tend to overlook the small things, right? What is it that allows you to feel grounded, right? And we're not always talking about financial necessities, right? Because what I'm picking up for you specifically, I don't feel that it's so much a worry of like finances. And some of you may have it, but it's not what I'm picking up. This is more of that you yourself, that doubting type of energy, that whenever you hit a certain level, you tend to doubt yourself. You tend to get yourself, you tend to question where it is that you're going, where you're headed, or you tend to question the choices that you're thinking about making before making them. You start to question if you're going to fail, if you're going to make it, if you're going to be able to bring everyone with you when you make it, that type of energy. And what that does specifically for the Gemini Cancer cusp, it starts to show up in your root chakra internally. So you may be having some discomfort. It may be feeling like maybe you have like a UTI. I'm not exactly 100% sure. I've never had one, thank God. But it's almost like kind of like that discomfort where in the lower, like the root chakra area, there is this this uncomfortable pain, and maybe you have gone to the doctors and they're telling you that there's nothing there, or maybe just in your house everything seems to be going to shit all at once, right? Like, you know, the AC stops working, the hot water is not coming out as fast as it should, the toilet is not flushing correctly. Little things or little mishap in your home are happening because as we talk about it, our houses, or our home, are an extension of us, right? And I know people are going to say that I'm crazy for what I'm about to say next, but whenever I'm standing within my own way, or I am about to block myself without realizing it because I'm not paying attention, or because I didn't take those few minutes to ground myself or whatever, and I'll go and I'll pee, right? My toilet won't want to flush. And I'll sit there, right? I'm like, what the fuck am I missing? And I know it's going to sound crazy, but when we talk about energy and we talk about frequency, and you talk about your space, your house being an extension of you, the toilet is what usually gets my attention, right? So then I'll sit there and I'll be like, okay, so what is it? Where is it I'm going to block myself, right? Because when the toilet gets clogged, something is not flowing. So I'll sit there and I'll sit there and I'll sit there and I'll just start breathing, and then it's like the answer comes, and then I go ahead and the fucking toilet flushes, right? And this can happen out of nowhere. Like, it doesn't have to be that the toilet has been, like, the toilet won't even be clogged for like months or whatever. Like, I'll have no issues with my toilet, and the minute that I'm about to block myself, or that I'm not releasing something, or that I'm holding on to something, my toilet doesn't want to fucking go. Like, and I'll check the tank, and it's like the water's there and everything is there. So what signs is it that you're the extension of yourself, right? Whether it is your house, whether it is your room, what is it that is malfunctioning or is not working correctly, that is trying to get your attention in a way to show you that you're blocking yourself, or you're not allowing something to flow? Because that is kind of like the energy that I'm picking up with you. Something is weighing you down, but it's not anything that anyone else is saying or anything that anyone else is doing. It is like, it's almost yourself. This has become, it's something that you have done maybe in the past to survive. and you're being told to let go of it at this moment in time because you're transitioning, you're moving into a new energy, and you no longer need to survive. You need to live, you need to thrive, but you're still in survivor mode. So you need to get out of that survivor mode is the main thing for you. So let's go ahead and let's pull out 3 oracle cards and see. And again, guys, I don't know, it's still showing that I'm still live, but you know, the internet has been a little spotty. The cosmic heart with the number 8. Divine Mother Manifest. The manifestation cards keeps on coming up. This is the 3rd time, and we're only on the 3rd sign, Gemini, Cancer. So we have the cosmic heart, the number 8, the Divine Mother Manifest, the number 15, and the number 21, the sacred Phoenix heart. So you have 2 hearts here. So why are you blocking this is the question. Why are you blocking yourself from manifesting something? There's something here that is literally being put in your hand, and you're almost like questioning whether to walk away from it. Okay, got it. There has been a pattern in your life where every time you get your wish, something else falls apart. And that is your catalyst, that mentality. Now, let's see if we can put this into words, because I really need you guys to really get this, Gemini Cancer. In the past, when something good happened, something else fell apart. And you may have used the excuse that everything has an opposite, everything has to balance out, etc. And you accepted that. And that may have worked, that may have kept you in check, that may have kept you motivated and going and all of this stuff. But it also created underneath subconsciously this fear of success, this fear of actually going after something, or this fear of receiving, because now you've attached that receiving something good means something bad is coming after it. And that's not the case. That's not the case anymore, right? There was something that you were supposed to realize. There was something that you were supposed to see. I have balloons behind me. It was my dad's birthday a couple of months ago, and they're like his birthday year. Some of the balloons are finally deflating at this point. So that's the blue you see behind me. But it's almost like you need to stop thinking that because something good is happening or is trying to come in, that something bad is going to happen. That is not the case anymore. This will continue to be the case if you continue to stay within that mentality. So you're being told that it is safe for you to receive the blessings, the miracles, the manifestations that are coming in for you without the fear that something else is going to go wrong. And this is all based on the root chakra specifically for you guys, because that's where I feel the pulling, right? When you were in that survivor mode, that is how you saw things, right? And needing to move away from this. So whether it is that you need to meditate or you need to sit down with your own root chakra and do some clearing, some working. I do have the chakra, what is it called? The chakra transmutation videos that I posted years ago, and people still use them. So maybe just listening, like, you know, just maybe breathing with the root chakra on to kind of clear that out. But do not sell yourself short during this time as something is trying to come in. Don't push it back because you fear that you're going to lose something on another end, because that's not really how it works. It's more of our perception of how we see things working, right? So it's not necessarily that things are going to shed. Is that when you're receiving more and you're opening up your space, you're opening up your heart, you're opening up yourself to receive more, everything that is not aligned with what is coming in needs to be removed, needs to be cleared out of the way. And that's when our mind starts to say, well, you see, because you got that, now you're losing all of this. You're not losing all of that because because you had to even up a space, if that makes any sense. You're losing all of this because it's no longer part of the, it's not part of the thriving, it's not part of living, it is part of surviving, and you're no longer surviving. So you have to come clear with that in your mind, and then whether it is that you have to do mantras, whether it is that you have to write it down, whether, one of the biggest ways, and I know this is gonna sound crazy again, not something that I read, not something that I learned anywhere, when I really want to manifest something, or when I really want to let go of something that is holding me down, I'll write it down and then I'll record myself saying it as if it was a meditation. And then I listen to it, and it works faster subconsciously because it is my own voice and I'm not listening to someone else's voice. Sometimes when I'm doing guided meditation, it might take me a little longer to get into it because it's not my voice, right? My brain, my subconscious is recognizing the words, but it's not recognizing the voice. So what I do is, like, whenever I start things that I want to manifest, I start jotting them down, right? And then I'll have a day where I feel like I'm in complete bliss. I wake up and it's like, you know, I don't have to do as much to get into that higher vibration. What do I do when I'm in that really extreme high vibration? I'll start dancing, I'll start doing all these things. So then I get myself into an alignment within myself where there's no doubt, there's no question, there's no anything. What do? I take my phone, I record everything that I want to manifest. This way, you know, it could be like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'll listen to it. Not every day. Sometimes I'll listen to it once a week or whatever it is. But it's my own voice. So it's almost like my higher self telling myself. But subconsciously hearing my own voice helps into aligning myself and into releasing whatever needs to be released. And I hope that that helps. So we're going to move on to Cancer, Leo, Cusp. And this video is going to be long, as we can tell, because we're only on number 4 and we have 12 to do. So we have Cancer, Leo, Cusp. And Cancer, Leo, you just want to, I'm picking up this energy, you just, I need to calm down, right? You just want to have fun. That's really the energy that I'm picking up with you guys. You really just want to have fun. You really just want to enjoy. I don't know why you're saying it like that, but you just want to enjoy the time that you have on this earth. I'm not calling you old or anything like that. You just don't want to. You don't see yourself, let's put it this way, as someone that is just here to work and pay bills. You're trying to be creative with ways to make extra income, having multiple income. That is kind of like where your energy is. You're more in a very creative energy this for the next few days between now and the 30th. There are ideas that are coming into play, things that you want to start putting into action, and it's almost like you're really trying your best to. It's not even, you're not even fighting, again, because I'm not picking up any doubts. I feel it's like more of like, you're trying not to put everything out at once so that it doesn't look like a big mess, right? So you're trying to have some pattern or some, it's like they're trying it to be like as a pattern, right? A sequence of things, like, you come up with something and then you come up with something that adds to that, almost that is, okay, I get it, it's a sequence, it's a pattern, but like I would like to get like another example, but that's all they're saying, it's a sequence, it's a pattern, you know, you keep adding to it for some reason. But it's like this multiple stream of income that you're trying to come up with. You're in a space where you don't want to be sitting down. There's a fear here, and I shouldn't say fear, we get so used to using that word. There's not wanting to miss out, not wanting to miss out, not wanting to miss out, not wanting to miss opportunity. We have the Layla card. We have the number 34, which is the Layla card. So you're definitely receiving a lot of downloads. You're receiving a lot of information. You're receiving a lot of ideas, creative things that you can do to make that extra income or have multiple incomes, needing to act upon it. With the 19, we have the sacred union. So again, needing to go ahead, and it's like you're being given literally gifts, right? Whether even if they're not spiritual gifts, as far as like reading and stuff like that, your ideas, the things that are being downloaded into you to go ahead and start creating and start producing income from are gifts. You're being given all these gifts, and you need to go ahead and use them. So we do have the number 24, the resplendent with grace, right? So everything that is being, and I don't know if it stopped recording. And I've been in a couple of places and I've been trying to see which is the best place to record, and it's kind of spotty everywhere. I just, fingers crossed we don't lose power. So we do have rolling blackouts out here. But anyways, whatever it is that you're being gifted as far as like gifts and ideas, put them into place. It's something that is going to come naturally. It's something that you're not going to have to put a lot of effort into it, as far as like needing to learn certain skills, or needing to learn how to do it. So it's not like spirit is telling you, oh, go be a professional dancer, and you have no idea, you feel like you have no rhythm, or you don't know how to dance, so you have to spend 2 years learning how to dance with different types of music, right? So that's not what we're talking about here. Whatever it is that is you're feeling inside of yourself to go ahead and launch or go ahead and do, go ahead and do it, because it's going to come naturally, but it's also going to attract a lot of people as you make, and this is something out there that I'm putting out, like maybe you are somebody that does things from scratch, right? You like to cook or prep all of your foods from scratch. So maybe as you're prepping your foods from scratch, you like to tell stories, right? And there's a lot of people that do it. People do it while they're doing makeup. People do it while they're doing a bunch of different stuff, right? So like for me personally, I have somebody that I follow that she tells stories while she's doing her makeup. I admire the way that she does her makeup, but if I had somebody that is cooking or meal prepping or whatever, telling the same stories, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna watch that person instead, because I'm more of a cooker than I am somebody that wears makeup. So there is an audience, there is a huge audience for whatever it is that you're being advised. Feeling overexhausted, don't worry about feeling like it's going to take too much time, or that it's going to take too much planning. Always remember, everything that you do is going to require some type of planning. It's going to require some type of setup, right? So like before I get started, I have a routine that just bear with me. There's going to be a lot of glitches in this video type of thing, but whatever downloads you're getting, whatever you're getting to go ahead and get something started, don't waste more time and go for it. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do Leo, Virgo, Cusp, and we're doing 48 minutes and 38 seconds. So Leo, Virgo. There's drama in your energy, Leo, Virgo. There is this energy of somebody kind of looking at you like, who the hell do they think they are? And you're like, I am me. Somebody, and again, I hate picking up these types of energy, because like I feel like, okay, what is it that this message is going to bring in order to help Leo, Virgo, Cusp expand, evolve, right? But it's more about needing to learn that you're not going, and we always say it, right? And it's very easy to say it, right? You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. They drink coffee, shots, whatever. And really getting to a space where you don't allow that, or you get to a space that it doesn't affect you anymore, right? The same way that you're gonna have 100 people that love and celebrate you and love what you do and love what you bring to a certain space, is the same way that you're gonna have 100 people that are gonna hate on what you do, don't like what you do, don't like what you bring to a space, and that's perfectly fine. Now, the trick here is not to get overly excited or depend on the 100 people that love what you do in order to bring self-satisfaction or gratification. Because when you are neutral, whether the comments are positive or negative, however you choose to see them, then it cannot internally affect you. When you honor and you know yourself well enough that if somebody likes or loves or celebrates what you're doing, is because there's a part of you, whether it is the way that you dress, the way that you talk, the way that you express yourself, that they see as a part of themselves, right? Or it allows them to open up themselves to be more of themselves, right? It's not that they're trying to copy you. And as the same way as if somebody is hating or disliking what you're doing, there's a part of you that they either wish that they could do, but they're not able to do it at this moment in time. So it's kind of looking at life in that way. If something brings you joy, if something brings you happiness, then that's all that matters, right? That's really all that matters. I mean, it's not that you're not acknowledging the people that love or hate what you do, but at the end of the day, that shouldn't be where you based your passion for something based on someone else, right? So like I'll go live without mentioning it, even if I'm the only one live the entire time, right? And I'll post even if nobody sees the video, because at the end of the day, even if that message was for just one person and they don't see it till like 6 months later, I did what I was supposed to do and they got that message when they needed it, right? So this is not about trying to catch the fame train, if that makes any sense. And it's almost kind of like that's the energy that you kind of have to shrug during this time, because there is a sense here that someone is criticizing either the way is going to keep on asking me to reconnect. But there is a sense of like, so if you hate or you dislike what I do so much, why are you still following me? Why are you still okay with what I'm doing? So that's kind of like the response that you're giving to them. Like, if you dislike what I do so much, why are you still wasting your time? Because in essence, they are wasting their time watching you. They are wasting your time coming to your business, right? But it's like they come towards you, they come towards your business, they come towards your party or your gathering, whatever you have, to come and criticize it. And you're just like, sweetie, the door is right there. If you don't like it, you don't got to stay. It's everybody, or to make everybody like you. You know, you had to learn the very hard way, Leo Virgo, with a lot of backstabbing, a lot of people pretending and having these false masks in front of you, that the more you give into that energy and the more that you try to please everyone and the more that you try to have all these people around you, the lonelier you felt, the more out of place you felt, because none of those people were being authentic. So you're in this space right now in your owning yourself, honoring yourself, all aspect of yourself that I really like. So we do have that fiery energy right from the Leo, and then we have this Virgo, like this shit, and I do nothing wrong in it. Because, you know, Virgo could be wrong, but they're never going to admit that they were wrong. They'll admit it to themselves when they're by themselves, but they probably won't admit it to you, and that's perfectly fine. As long as they're admitting it to themselves and they're not lying to themselves, they're good, right? But it's almost like this space where you're done. You have been done with a lot of people's bullshit, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't, if you have a Leo Virgo cusp in your life, I would not, I would advise against coming after them for the next few days, because what's going to come out of their mouth or the way that they're going to respond to certain people and certain situations in their life may seem like they're being mean or they're reacting, but they've actually put a lot of thought into what it is that they're saying to you. Now, I don't know if I pulled cards or not, and if I did, you know, we're pulling some more cards. The lion and the deer. We have the sacred conversion and the right choice. Number 22, 11, and 29. So you're definitely in a space this week where your choices are right in alignment with where it is that you're headed. Your choices are feel right to you. You are not questioning the choices that you're making. You're not questioning whether it is that you're going to lose certain people, or who's going to walk away from you, or who's going to stay, or who's going to like it, who's going to dislike it. It doesn't fucking make a difference to you. You're choosing your path. You're choosing yourself above every longer holding yourself. And you're also, this is what I like about your energy for the next few days. You're opening up yourself to people that are actually going to come and help you grow. That are actually going to come and bring that energy of security that maybe you lost time ago because you were surrounded by people that hated you so much. Not hated you, but hated your actions, hated the way that you showed up. So there is all of those that are being removed, you really don't care too much about. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on to what is it? Virgo, Libra, 56, 58. Virgo, Libra. What is Virgo, Libra's cusp energy? What are you? You're deciding whether to cut somebody off, cut a situation off out of your life. For some of you, Virgo, Libra, because you're questioning whether, how many cards fall? 3 cards exactly fall. You're questioning whether, hold on. You're questioning whether is it right, whether if it is the right time to go after something. We have the number 13, ARIES. So maybe coming out of a difficult situation where you were not 100% sure where you stood. Now, when we talk about where we stand, it doesn't have to automatically mean that it has to do with love. I'm going to be going live later to do the love connections. Again, I am still out of the country, so this makes it easier. But why do I want to say some of you want to go back to school, want to learn a certain trait, and someone is telling you that you're too old, that you're too old or something, but you're very passionate about it, because we have the number 39 with Blessing of Sarah and the number 36, Passion of the Wild Red Mother. So whatever it is that you want to go after, you're very passionate about, and it's not something that is just coming out of the blue, guys. This is something that you've always wanted to go after, but life, responsibility of life or whatever it was, didn't allow you to go after this. And now that you want to go after it, it's almost like you have to be, like, you can't be ashamed. Somebody's commenting some, like, shameful energy or something like this. It's never too late to go after anything. I had, when I was still working as a nurse in my last, I had a lady, she was in her, we're gonna say in her 60s. She was a little older, but she didn't seem it. Mami! Ma, si hace café, dame un chin con azúcar. Un chin con azúcar y un chin de agua fría. Que no me gusta muy caliente. Sorry guys, I want some coffee. And she had, she did the whole getting married, had kids, was a stay-at-home mom, all of that. And when her youngest daughter, I think it was, or something like that, don't quote me on it. When her daughter went to school to be a nurse, she herself was in her mid to late 40s, so almost approaching 50. And she decided to go back to school and become a nurse. Now, when you're thinking about somebody in their mid 40s, almost approaching 50, and wanting to go into, getting their RN, whether it's 2 years, 4 years, whatever it is. Are we back? It's still frozen. Let's see if I can see what's going on here. No, it's not doing anything. It's like frozen, frozen. So, I don't know if I should keep recording. Time is not passing, now it's passing. So, she decides that she's going to go back to school. She actually goes to school, at the same school her daughter went to or not. But she graduated at around the same time her daughter graduated, and she went on to working 20 plus years as a nurse and loved it. And she was, I'm not gonna lie, she was one of those high-spirited person that was always hiking, always pushing herself physically. So like, you saw her and you could never tell what her age was. So if you find yourself in that rut where you want to start something and you're allowing your age or any part of your situation in your life stop you from it, take a step back, take a seat, and ask yourself, why are you much limits to yourself, right? There are people that start working out in their 50s and their 60s and get so into it and get in amazing shape, right? So your age, your gender, your whatever you want to call it, the situation where you're living, your schedule, your routine, all of that are all things that we ourselves use as excuses, that type of mindset, right? So when one of the biggest thing is, like, I'm like you, I love to exercise, right? I have other medical conditions that make it very difficult to lose weight, let's put it this way, right? Because of the sleep, right? Sleep is very important. But I don't allow that to stop me from pushing myself when I'm lifting weights, when I'm running, when if I say I'm gonna run this amount of time and, this amount of, distance in this amount of time. I don't care what anybody at the gym is thinking. I don't care what anybody's thinking. If I set a goal for myself or if I want to go after something, I don't look at my age, I don't look at my weight, I don't look at my height, I don't look at anything like that. If I'm passionate about it, it's something that I want to go after, then right now I'm going to go after it. Now, if it's something that is not aligned with me, Spirit is going to let me know right now, wait, like, bitch, you know what? You're not doing that because I said so, right? So it's kind of like that thing, like where the opening up or the space to do something is there, but you have a fear of going after it. So one of the things that I would like to do eventually, and it's something that, I've spoken to Spirit about for years, I would like to become a personal trainer to work with people that have issues with their sleep, right? Not necessarily just narcolepsy, because there's a lot of sleep issues out there, right? So I've contacted a bunch of different trainers to talk about sleep and how it affects your weight and this and this and that. And I signed up for classes and I lose my money because Spirit tells me it's not time. And Spirit keeps on telling me, like, you're gonna know when the time is right. And what I had to learn was that I have to learn how to lose weight by tricking my body when it's not getting enough rest. And it's something that is a work in progress. I found a little routine that is working and it's getting me there, not as quickly as I did back when I was on medication. But it's almost like, okay, I know that whether it is now or 10 years from now or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and do the personal trainer license, right? And it's not so much about making the money, right? It's about, unfortunately, in our country, in the U.S., you have to have a title in order to help certain people with certain things. So that is something that I am first learning within myself, right? I'm learning what the body needs. I'm learning to listen. I've been very good. I've been very blessed. And I always say thank you to Spirit, to God, to Mother Earth, to everybody, my whole spiritual team. I'm very grateful for the fact that I'm very in tune physically with my body. But my goal in life is to help people be that in tune with their body, to know what their body is asking them to eat, what your body is asking you to drink, what is your body asking you to do, right? Because when you know thyself, physically, mentally, and spiritually, then you're able to evolve and grow. So what is it that at this moment in time you're being asked to take up, like to partake of, or to go ahead and learn, right? Or are you being asked to go back to school? Maybe your long dream was to be a psychologist, and you find yourself giving your friends or being everyone's therapist or psychologist or whatever, but you're not getting paid for it. And the routine with the kids, the routine with everything has stopped you from actually going to school. So, and again, I'm not sending you back to school, but there's something that you want to start, there's something that you want to do that you're passionate about, and you're being told to stop wasting your time. Don't worry about what people are going to say if you graduate college when you're in your 60s, or if, you know, some of you want to learn how to belly dance. Go ahead and freaking learn how to belly dance. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Stop worrying about, again, your age, your physical fitness level, anything like that. Virgo, Libra, Cusp. Go for it. It's never too late, right? It's only too late when you choose to give up without even giving it a try. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on to Libra Scorpios. 67 minutes. So Libra Scorpios. Ooh, my stomach. There's a situation that has you nauseated, has you feeling a little off. There's something that's not right. Things are not adding up. Now, Libra Scorpio, I feel like you're dealing with someone that is, trying to slander someone else's name. Someone is trying to slander someone's name. So someone is coming to you, giving you the partial truth. You're being advised, and I know that you already know this, Libra Scorpio, don't feed into it. It's really leaving a very sour taste in my mouth. It's really making me super nauseous. Like I want to grab a bucket and I want to throw up, because this is how uncomfortable these people. Oh, trae el limoncillo. This is how uncomfortable. Tan bueno. They're sweet. I'm gonna have some later. This is how uncomfortable the situation makes you feel. Now, for those of you that this is happening in a work setting, be very careful not to stick your hand in fire for someone else. You may be in a space where there is somebody that you are always defending, or someone that you feel the need to defend, and you don't know the full story. So any conflict within work or family situation, do not put your hand in fire for anyone else. And that's kind of like an expression that we have in Spanish, like, no ponga la mano en fuego por nadie, because usually you end up getting burned, right? Because, like, you know, with those of us that have kids, like I would say, oh, my kids don't eat this, and then you go to someone's house to visit and they're fucking eating the one shit you said that they don't eat. So it's kind of like that aspect. There's somebody that has not shown you or have not let a certain aspect of themselves come out in front of you, but is on full-blown effect when you're not there, right? I'm not saying that they're talking shit about you or anything. This could be completely unrelated to you, right? This person can have a very bad habit or speaks down to other people and all of this stuff, but when you're present, they are an angel, right? They hide this aspect of themselves. So when conversation is being had, or when they're being called to HR or something like that, you want to jump in and clear someone's name, and you're being told not to interfere because there's aspects or parts of it that you have not seen or that you have not witnessed, okay? So stay out of it. Because you're gonna end up seeing it, and again, it's almost like this really bad taste, like this almost like, you know when something goes sour or goes bad, and it's like, it doesn't look like it's sour or bad, right? Like, you know when milk, I don't drink milk, but the kids do, but you know, like sometimes you can look at milk and it looks like it's normal and it looks okay, but when you go to smell it, it's like, that's bad. Or like mayonnaise or anything like that could look okay as is rotting, but not to go ahead and stand up for this person. Whatever this person is receiving, as far as like whether they're getting in trouble at work or they're getting in trouble with a family member or somebody's telling them off or somebody, there's a lot of shit that is being exposed, and you can watch, you can observe, but do not pick sides. And I'm not saying this so that you can be neutral with everyone or so that everybody likes you. The reason why I'm saying it's not to choose side is because there is a whole bunch of bullshit that you are not aware of. There's a whole aspect of this person that you're not aware of, that if you go ahead and you defend them, you're gonna be slapped in the face by like spirit. Like, didn't I tell you not to get into that? I told you, like, you didn't need to know the whole story, but you were told not to get into that because you didn't see this part of the person, right? You didn't see this person's flaw, and you may get in that. You may be in the habit of wanting to be fair with everyone, wanting to end gossiping between people and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the only thing that you're doing is you're getting all the parties that are involved are then gonna come and attack you when you have nothing to do with it, right? You're trying to find a common ground, or you're trying to help people find common ground, but these are individuals and people that are not ready to find common ground. So you have to learn to know when it is that your help is being asked for, and if it's not, and again, I'm gonna sound like a bitch like I always do, then mind your own fucking business. And that's kind of one of these spaces where you need to mind your own effing business, because you don't know the whole story. You feel it in your gut that something is not right within what is being said, what is being done, but it is not up to you to get involved in that, right? Because you're gonna get dragged into something that literally has nothing to do with you. If people are going at it, arguing or whatever, like, you step back and you be like, you know what? If somebody comes to you telling you, oh, so and so, you be like, you know what? I know them, I know you, I love them, I love you. I'm not getting in the middle of that because that has nothing to do with me. If you have an issue with them, then I advise you to go ahead and talk directly to them. A lot of people say that that's because, a lot of people may say it's because you want to be liked by everyone, or you don't want to pick sides. You know what, sweetie? There's a lot of things that you're not meant to pick sides on. There's a lot of things that are not relevant to you, are not relevant to your growth, are not relevant to your evolution. That the only thing it does, it traps you in other people's issues that then doesn't allow you to grow, doesn't allow you to evolve, because unknowingly, subconsciously, you start to integrate these people's issues and their energy as your own, and then you can't tell the fucking difference. So you're being told any issues, any problems that other people are having, stay the fuck out of it. This is one of those times where, you know how we say, you know, other people's opinion, their problem, their business. Well, then this is one of those times where you need to learn you need to mind your own business. All right, don't get involved in it, because you're gonna suffer more than the parties that are arguing and fighting. And if you look at it in the past, when you got involved in situations like this, you always end up losing. So your main focus should be right now, as all of this crap is going on with other people, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to create? If you want to move away from these type of energy, these type of people, then it is possible, right? We have the impossible made possible. Focus on your dreams, focus on your manifestations, your intention with the hand of Fatima, and beyond death we have life with the number 1. So redirect your energy into defending. If you feel like you have to defend anything, or you feel like you have to defend anyone, it would be yourself, your space, your energy, who it is that you choose to spend time with, and etc. But do not get pulled back into this. I feel like you guys are definitely like at that peak of like, almost like, and I know a lot of people don't like jumping off of things. I love jumping off of cliffs, because it's like that. It takes complete surrender, right? To like jump or life without this drama, on a life where you don't have to be everyone's savior, on a life where you can be aligned with people that are like-minded like you, people that are talking more about the things that they want to create, the life that they want to live, instead of worrying so much about what the other person is doing, or what so-and-so is wearing, or how much so-and-so weighs, or this or that. Like, that is kind of like, there is this world, right? There is this life that you can live that does not revolve around gossiping around other people. You just have to allow yourself the space and the time to move away from it, right? You have to give yourself permission to move away from people that are constantly within that energy. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on over to Scorpio, Sagittarius, Cusp. So Scorpio, Sag, cusp, what do we have? Scorpio, Sagittarius. Scorpio, Sagittarius, what do we have? Why do I feel like you guys are the Scorpio Sag between now and the 30th? You're observing something crumble. There is a foundation within your life that is crumbling, and it's weird because it's not so much of like you are enjoying the. This is such a Scorpio energy. You are enjoying the flames. You are enjoying watching something burn to the ground. Because whatever is crumbling due to a fire, right? So something came in to, why am I picking up as a cleanse? Something came in as a cleanse. So maybe the past couple of weeks or couple of months, you guys have been focusing on cleansing, on releasing, on letting go. Like there's been a huge emphasis on that type of energy. So something is cleansing. There is a foundation being broken down, and you're watching it burn with satisfaction. Now, I want to say that whatever is burning down, you're satisfied with the burning down of something. But this involves other people. So, all right, Scorpio Sag, bear with me. There were people, doesn't need to be a significant other, but there was somebody or certain individuals, whether you were part of a club or something, where you've been told to start separating yourself or to start making some distance, setting some boundaries or something. And there's either an argument, a disagreement within the group or something like that, and somebody says, I'm not dealing with you anymore, I'm not talking to you anymore, you're dead to me and all of this stuff. And it's like, you're looking at them kind of like with a smile, like, oh, I guess the time is now. And you're not hurt over the fact that they're saying all of these things, but you know, and this is where it gets tricky, you know that within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, this person is going to swallow their words and are going to come right back running, trying to apologize, trying to be back in your life. And you know, because you know within yourself that you're not allowed to allow this person back in. So the fact that you have been setting boundaries within a specific area of your life with specific people have gotten these people to a stage or to a place where then they blow up, they explode, they tell you that you're the one that's always wrong, you're the this, so they're going to separate themselves from you. And you're like, you get it, let's just put it this way. So you get it that, okay, this is it on your end. Now, the beauty in it is that it's coming out of their mouth, but they're not done with you, but you are done with them. So they're basically doing your work for you, if that makes any sense. And it's not because you had the lack of courage or anything like that to do it. It's just a lot of you were really waiting for the perfect time. But you were slowly pulling back from someone, you were slowly setting boundaries, you were slowly standing up for yourself. And when this person saw that they either couldn't control you, couldn't manipulate you anymore, they explode and, you know, start name calling, whatever they decide to name call. And then it's like there is this beautiful satisfaction within yourself, knowing that you're done with somebody completely. They're gonna come calling back. So we have 1, which is the number 6. Somebody's telling you that you're gonna regret losing them, that you're gonna regret it's almost like they feel like they are the all of the all, like they're the best thing that ever happened to you. The number 3, the dissolving light. Someone is really showing their true colors, and you're grateful that this person is walking away. Number 22, the lion and the deer. Because again, this person had this type of connection with you where they wanted to control, they wanted to manipulate how it is that you did things, or what it is that you did, or what it is that you believe, or whatever it is. But you started to set boundaries. You started to push back. This person didn't like it, they explode, they cut you off, but in reality, they really don't understand that your boundaries was what led to that point of cutting off, right? So they're here feeling like they are the almighty, the best, the bigger person, the all of this, and you're just sitting there like, okay, this is done and over with, and you're just smiling about it. That's why you're just sitting there admiring the fire, because you're really admiring the fact that this person is out of your life. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on over to Sagittarius Capricorns. Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp. Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp. We're almost getting there, guys. It's going to be a super long video. There's a lot of glitch in the video, so just kind of keep that in mind. So this is between now and the 30th. Now, I was supposed to go home tomorrow, but I think I'm extending my stay a little longer. So if I do stay until next week, I will be doing lives again, and we'll get back to our normal routine when I get back to the States. All right, so Sagittarius Capricorn. This is, what are you? Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp, you're downplaying something. You're downplaying something. We have the number 27, the angel Rasbar, the number 39, and guys, as always, you can correct me, number 39, blessing of Sarah, and the 18, the new gown. You're downplaying a success. You're downplaying the blessings that you're receiving. You're downplaying something. Maybe you're downplaying pain or hurt. There's something that you're downplaying. For most of you, whatever you're downplaying, it is something good. It is something, it's a success. It's something that you manifested, and you're just like, they can see the results when they see it. So whether it is car, or a new purse, or a new house, something is giving out, or is letting your secret out about something. I don't feel that you're downplaying it because you're trying to hide it from other people. I just feel whatever it is. So like if you have a business that increased, if you lost a certain amount of weight, or you got into shape, or whatever it was, you attained something that you really wanted, and you're downplaying it to the world, not because you're ashamed of it, not because of anything like that, but because this is something that you are enjoying, or you're celebrating within yourself. And that's my nephew in the background. He's only 9 months old, and my dad is playing with him. That's why you hear all the noise. He's trying to talk. But, so it's almost like you are super excited about it, you're super happy about it, but you're not showing it to the world, because it's almost like the initial spark of the celebration, the initial like, oh my God, this happened, oh my God, I'm so excited, I'm so happy, all happened in a very private setting, right? And you sat down with that gratitude, with that space of like just being very grateful and being very happy for whatever came in, that there's no need to have to boast about it, if that makes any sense. But people can still see that there's like a glow up or a coming up of something. So it's very weird, because it's like you're trying, right? You're trying to celebrate, you're trying to honor something by yourself, but the entire world can still see it, or those around you can still see it. So like you'll buy a new house and they have to post it immediately, right? Because they're grateful because whatever the support was. But that is their way of expressing it. They love to share that initial excitement with everyone, right? Hate on it or not, they don't care. For you, whatever at this moment in time that you have manifested, that you had attained, is something that is that you feel that is very personal, right? That you feel that it's just, it's almost as like it's your baby, it's yours, right? So, like for instance, I'm the type of person, like whenever I've gotten a new car, people won't know that I bought a new car till like almost a year later. They're like, oh, this is where you're driving? Like, how long have you had this car? Like, oh, I didn't see it on Facebook. I didn't see it on Instagram. And I'm like, because it's a car that is for me to drive on a daily, you know what I mean? So it's almost kind of like that thing. People are questioning why you're not boasting about it. And because you're not boasting or you're not posting about what you manifested, does not decrease the amount of gratitude that you have for receiving it, right? And it doesn't diminish that space in your heart of being grateful for it. It's just for you, you show that gratefulness or excitement, that energy to whatever it is that you're receiving in private. But people are still noticing it. People are still noticing it, and you're downplaying some type of success in an area. I'm not telling you to go ahead and post it everywhere. I'm not telling you that what you're doing is wrong. There are things like, I get super excited and I like to share when I get gifts from you guys, right? When I get tarot decks, when I get oracle cards and stuff like that, I love to share that with you guys because it is coming from you guys, right? You guys are sending me gifts and things like that, and I like to share with you guys collectively. I like to use them with you guys collectively. But there's other things that I am blessed with that I like to downplay, not necessarily because I'm afraid of anything, but because it just feels at that moment in time to celebrate it or to appreciate it, to be grateful about it in a different space, right? So just allow yourself to celebrate whatever this is, however it comes to you. But just know that even though you're trying to downplay it, a lot of people are going to be noticing it and are going to be complimenting you on it, okay? So we're going to move on to Capricorn, Aquarius. And we are at 90 minutes, so we are at an hour and a half. So after I am done with the cusp, I am going to be taking probably a 20-minute break or so before we start the love connection. I will try to post the love reading, the live link or whatever on Facebook and Instagram before we actually go live. But it's more, this is just easier to get everything out there and not having to spend 3 days uploading videos. So Capricorn, Aquarius, cusp between now and the 30th. There's a completion of something, whether you cycle in order to close something up, whether you're, and when I say that is, nothing happens unless you're ready. Sometimes when I say whether you're ready mentally, but when you're ready spiritually, subconsciously, your higher self, however you want to describe it, when that part of you is ready, it's going to do it, whether you're mentally ready for it or not, whether it feels like pressure, whether it feels like you're being cornered or whatever it is, you're ready for it and you're going to see it through on the other end. So I'm trying to get a little bit more of a clear picture what it is for you Capricorn and Aquariuses. It has, and they keep on saying, the fear of success. Now, why are you afraid of success? Not 100% sure why. For some of you, it may have been the way that you were brought up, right? Where, like, for example, personally, my dad always used to tell us, you only cover yourself until where your sheets reach, right? So that means you don't overindulge, you don't overspend. So this goes back, I believe, to Aries Taurus, where we were talking about when you manifest money or you manifest something for something specific, you use it for that. And if you want extra for just whatever, then you ask for that. And it's almost like that space where maybe the things that you were manifesting, the things that you were specifically asking for or assistance for, were practical things that you needed in order to live, right? You needed money to pay your bills, you needed money to put gas in your car, you needed whatever it was. And now it's almost like Spirit is like, okay, you now ask for something you desire. Something that is a little bit more, depending on who you are, depending on your upbringing, is something that may be a little bit more difficult for you, right? Well, how do I ask, for this, right? Like I want to manifest getting a massage every month, do for you every month. What release do you get from it, right? So it's kind of like that thing, not limiting your manifestations or your intentions just on the necessity of life, just on the necessity of things. Allow yourself to dream and to picture bigger things. Allow yourself to want to manifest more than just the basic survival things. So for a lot of you, that completion comes in and no longer limiting the things that you're trying to manifest, no longer limiting the things that you are asking for when it comes from Spirit. So what is it that you desire that has nothing to do with your needs, right? What is it that you want, right? Like, you can be a single person and want a fucking 5-bedroom house with 4 bathrooms, a pool, a jacuzzi, and whatever. Yeah, you necessarily don't need it for one person, but you desire it. Why? Because when your family comes over, you want a place for your family to stay. Whatever your reasoning is, or you just fucking desire it because that's what you freaking want. You want to sleep you want to have 5 different theme rooms and sleep in all those different rooms, like one night in each room, right? It doesn't really matter, but it's almost like breaking through that limited belief that we're only to manifest what we need at this moment in time just to live. We're here to experience, we're here to thrive. And if you see other people on social media living the life that you want to live, living the dreams that have been put inside of you from childhood, and you're not living them, it's not because anybody is doing anything to you. It's not because, you were born into these circumstances and this and this and that. A lot of the self-made millionaires were born into situations that they shouldn't have survived past the age of 5 or past a certain age, right? It is about taking everything that was quote unquote put as a challenge against you and transmute it or use it to your advantage to get further ahead. And when that starts to click, when that starts to link up in your mind, then you start to see things in a different way. And that's kind of the completion that you're coming into, that is not just about survival. Like for you, it may be very easy. Like, you know what? I gotta pay my light. Let me see. Oh, that shit is like $250. Okay, it's due tomorrow. Spirit, I need to manifest that money. Boom, it's there. You pay your light bill. Okay. I need to manifest this because I need to pay this. Boom, it's there. And then Spirit is like, so that's all you're going to use me for? Like, there's so much more that we want to get. There's so much more that we want to bring into your life so that you're not worried about when it is or what it is that you're going to eat, or if you're going to have lights, or if you're going to have this, or if you're going to have that. But you're still limiting yourself because you don't want to be greedy. Because at some point in your life, somebody told you that wanting more than what you have is being greedy. No. Wanting more than what you have is not being greedy, but if you were in a space for a long time where you only had what you needed, there was discipline, there was learning and appreciating what you have, right? So that one more is received, one more is given, you're able to appreciate it and you don't hold on to it, because this is what happens. A lot of people, when they live this limited mindset of like, this is what I got, this is what I got, when they receive more, they hold on to it and they don't want to let it go. And then they wonder why they get stuck, right? What comes in needs to be released. There has to be a flow of money of love, of, you know, whatever it is, everything has to flow. And that is what you're learning between now and the 30th. So, you know, you can go ahead and try to put your intention to something small or something big, whatever you want, but set your intention and you're going to see how it's going to go ahead and it's going to manifest. So we have the Layla card, which is the number 34, the Cosmic Heart, and then the Sacred Conversion. So we have number 34, 8, and 11. So there's a new way of living is what is coming up. A new way, not so much a new way of manifesting, but a new way of what you're asking for. You're no longer in this limited belief system that only the bare minimal for existence in life is what is going to be granted to you. Because that is so whether you have to run, whether you need to dance, whether you need to sit down for 20 minutes, whatever the hell you have to do, I don't care what it is, we're all different, we all do different things, then you go ahead and do it. There's a lot of people that believe, that not that believe, but the practice, let's put it this way, the water manifestation, right? Where they'll fill up a bottle of water or a cup of water and they'll speak over the water as they're drinking it. Some people pour half of a bottle into like another bottle. There's a lot of different techniques and tools that can be used for manifestation. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out what works for you, what sits right with you, and what comes naturally to you, and then that is what you go ahead and you do. But stop limiting yourself just to the basic needs of life when it comes to manifestation. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to Aquarius, Pisces. So Aquarius, Pisces, Cusp for now till the 30th. And then we have one more, and then we're going to close it down. Once it's uploaded, if I can do it before, I'll do it before. I'll put the timestamp. And then we'll be back live in about 20 minutes or so to do all the love connection. And while I'm out of the country, this is how I'm going to do them, just because, as I said earlier, it is easier. When I try to do my regular video, it just took too long to upload. So Aquarius, Pisces. What do we have for Papi? I have some chili, please. That's not loud. Thank you. Ellos hay audífonos ahí encima de la mesa, mío. Yo creo que esos son los míos. So again, I'm not home, guys. So there's just noise everywhere. So just bear. Connecting, guys. So just bear with me. Wishing upon a star. Whether it is that you're wishing for better times, you're wishing for more time, and it used you make time for what it is that you consider important or a priority in your life. I don't know if I'm going or if I'm still frozen. I think I'm frozen because the time is not. Now it's moving. Now, you can self-help books in the world. You can read all the motherfucking quotes you want to read. You can do all the planning you want to do. You can do all the wishing you want to do. But until you don't take that first step in that direction, regardless of what it is, you stand in the same spot waiting for the right time. Now, there's never a perfect time as far as like everything being perfect. The perfect time to start something is always now, the present time, right? Because the past has already happened and the future is yet here, even though intertwined, they're all happening at the same time. So if there is something that you're just sitting there and you're just like, I wish I could, why are you telling yourself that you wish you could when you actually can? The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to accomplish what you want? Now, when I talk about sacrifice, we're not talking about sacrificing going to family events or parties or, going on vacation or this or that. Sometimes those sacrifices may be needed, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the daily sacrifice that is needed in order to pursue a dream, in order to pursue a goal. Now, Does that require you to wake up an extra 10, 15 minutes earlier every day and stop hitting the fucking snooze button? Well, I'm not a morning person. All right, good for you. Does that require you staying up an extra 30 minutes every night to work on your business, on your goal? Well, I'm not a night owl. Well, good for you. I didn't ask you what you thought you were. What I'm asking you is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because if you ask me, I'm not a morning, afternoon, or night person. Nah. Based on what, if you have the definition, sleep cycle. So, do I fight it? No. But the time that I am awake, I take advantage of it. I work towards the things that I want. I work towards the things that bring me satisfaction. I'm living my life to work, in the sense of like going to work for someone else and then coming home and sitting in front of a TV for a couple that I don't have time to work on my dreams. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to work on the things that I want. But then you have time to sit in front of a TV for 3 hours and watch a fucking show that's not doing anything for your life. You do have the time. We all have the same freaking 24 hours in a motherfucking day. And it's hard for us to accept and to admit to ourselves that we are our biggest problem. We are our own blockage. It is easier to point fingers and to say, you know, so-and-so is giving me negative vibes, so-and-so is sending me negative vibes, so-and-so is giving me this, so-and-so. You know what, there's always going to be somebody setting negative vibes towards you, whether you're aware of it or not. Some people will do it intentionally, some people will do it unintentionally. Some people will say it to you, some people will say it behind your back. The matter of the fact is, are you going to allow those little limited things that you have put in your mind that are stopping you actually stop you? And with everything in life, I say no drastic, huge changes. There's no need for that. If you know that you wake up you've been waking up at 7 o'clock in the mornings, you don't have to be at work till 9. And you know that when you get out of work, you have to come home, you have to cook, you have to do this, and you know that by the time you're done with your daily stuff, let's say 9 o'clock at night, you know that physically you're too exhausted to work out. And you want to start working out in the morning. Then what do you start doing? You start waking up 10 minutes earlier every morning. You start doing 5 minutes of workouts for a couple of weeks. The next week you start waking up 15, 20 minutes earlier. You do 10 or 15 minutes workouts for a couple of weeks. And then until you get to that part or you build that time where you're waking up 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning or whatever it is. See, this is the thing is, we've become, with everything in life being so fast and so ready there for us, that we want to make changes in our life and we want to do them so drastically that then we set ourselves to fail. And that is kind of like what is being shown to you, right? What changes? What is it that you wish for? And how is it that you can start now and you can start small, but that is going to get you one step closer each day to what it is that you want to manifest, to what it is that you're wishing upon a star on. And it's hard, right? A lot of people don't like it when it's like, okay, this is what you want, but this is what you got to do. And it's like, well, it's not my fault. Yeah, it is. I don't care what anyone is saying or doing to you. At the end of the day, you have to take accountability for your part that you played in a situation, right? You have to. And I know that when you've been in a situation for so long and you start to see yourself a certain way, you start to talk about yourself, or you start to see yourself and view yourself in a way, it is very hard to get out of that space, right? Whether it is that you're in an abusive relationship, whether it is that you're around people that don't support you or whatever it is, then, you know, I'm a big advocate when it comes to talking to a therapist. I've seen therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, you name it, I've been there, done that. But at times, we have to be reminded, right, that we're human and that it is okay to make mistakes and it is okay to keep on moving forward and not to allow those mistakes to identify you or to direct where it is that your life is going. So for a lot of you Aquariuses Pisces, there is nobody around you that is blocking you from it except for yourself. And you may not like what I have to say, but there are sacrifices that you're going to have to make on a daily basis. Whether it is that extra 5 minutes, that extra 10 minutes in the morning or in the evening, however it is that it fits to your schedule. But you need to stop making the excuses and you need to start taking steps into what it is that you want to manifest, into what it is that you're dreaming of. You know, some of you are waiting for this surge of energy, this surge of inspiration. That surge of energy and that surge of inspiration doesn't really come in if there's not a way for you to receive it, right? Some people say, you know, like, I have this surge of energy and I like, you know, I'm thinking very positive, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. Well, guess what? Those people that are getting those energies or those epiphanies or those moments where they're like, I'm gonna go for this, they are doing things on a daily basis, whether they are doing it intentionally or not, to get themselves into alignment in order to receive that energy. Because if I'm sitting down in front of a couch most of the day watching TV and eating a bunch of junk, I may get a whiff of something, but as soon as it comes in, I just kind of let it go because it's like my energy, I'm not in alignment with that energy. So all it is a wishful thinking. So you have to get into alignment. You know, it's always about, yeah, the universe will provide, but the universe is going to provide to what it is that you are putting out. So if you're putting out, if your intention is what you're doing, right? You're sitting down watching to give you more and more and more and more and more TV shows that you're going to find interesting to soothe that time, right? Oh, I just finished this show that had 23 seasons. See what else is out there. The universe is going to shove something else that you're interested in because that's the energy that you want to be in. Now, if you're saying, I want to go ahead and I want to get this started, like, what do I have to do? Like, first of all, you have to show up. You have to say, okay, universe, I'm ready. Okay, God, I'm ready. Let's get this started. And you may not know where the hell you're starting or how you're starting, but you're just like, okay, I'm here. What do I do? And if you allow spirit to channel or to speak through you or speak to you or however you want to see it, it's going to happen. You're going to start having those surge of energies. They may be limited at first, but then eventually it becomes a way of life. And that's kind of like how you have to look at it. We have the 23, the Star Mother Arrakis, the 35, the Lover and the Beloved. What it is that you seek, what it is that you want, what it is that you desire is there. We have the 43, the Hand of Fatima. Everything that you desire, everything that you're wishing for, everything that you're dreaming of, let's put it this way, is blessed. And it's just waiting for you to be like, I'm here. I'm taking that leap. You know, a lot of people say, take the leap that the universe will catch you. And people are, well, the universe hasn't shown up to me. Well, have you actually taken that leap? I'm not telling you to go ahead and jump up a freaking building, guys. Come on, let's be honest. But have you actually taken that risk? Have you taken that challenge? Have you faced that challenge? Have you gone up to that edge and be like, ooh, I'm ready. Let's go. So until you don't take the risk, until you don't take that chance, that risk, the universe has nothing to catch you on. Because you're standing on ground. What you're expecting the universe to come and pick you up? And like throw you and then be like, okay, I'm gonna catch you now. No, you have to go and you need to jump, you need to take the leap, however the hell you want to see it, and the universe will be there to catch you and guide you. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to not just so much believe in yourself, but know yourself and know that you are going to see something through. And there's always going to be challenges, right? I love what I do. I was very I was uncomfortable. I was a little upset when I made the videos on Tuesday. I made them Monday to Tuesday, and it took literally 3 days to upload 12 videos, excuse me. And I was upset, and I'm like, you know, I'm going to be so behind in this and that. And I kept on sitting there, and I'm like, well, what about if I do a live? And I kept talking myself out of it, right? Like Wednesday and Thursday, I'm like, no, it's going to be cutting off too much. And I kept making excuses. And then yesterday was my son's birthday, so I used that as an excuse. I'm not going to lie, we were, spending time with him or whatever. And then today I was like, you know what, I'm going to go live. If it cuts off, it cuts off. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least the video will be made. I can timestamp it, and it can take a week to download. I really don't care, right? But I was like, I just need to show up. And it's going to work out the way that it's meant to work out. But, you know, we are all, regardless of where you are in your life or in your spiritual path or whatever, there are going to be times where you're not going to want to show up. And that's where the dedication and the determination and the commitment that you have to what it is that you're doing or what it is that you are providing comes into play. Because inspiration is not always there, guys. So now we're going to move on to the last one, which will be Pisces, Aries. And I don't know why this is giving it to me just in minutes. It's not showing me like an hour and change or 2 hours. It's so weird. All right, so let's go ahead. So Pisces, Aries. Something's going on here. Because all of a sudden, it really got really hard to breathe. I got a little congested. And it doesn't necessarily mean like you're drowning or anything like that. There is a situation in your life that it's unclear to see. It's unclear to see is what they're saying. I just want to check the, oh, I can't even see the battery on this one. There's a situation for Pisces, Aries, Cups that is unclear to see the resolution or the outcome of it, or how you're going to get out of it, or how you're going to resolve something. Now, I always tell you guys to sleep with a notebook or a journal, whatever, so when you get dreams or whatever, you're able to write them down, or you can use your phone and do like a voice note or whatever. But they're saying 3 to 4 months ago, and they're saying months ago, there was a dream that came to you that has the answers to the solution of the situation that you're in. I'm trying to get more clear, like a clearer image. What is this in regards to, Spirit? What is this in regards to specifically, so I can get more of a clear image or a clear message? For some of you, your spiritual team, and like I literally see, like, you know when people work in fields and stuff like that, and like they're doing like very hard work, but they're not seeing the fruits of their work, right? And I'm not saying that your spiritual team is upset with you, but they're showing me that they've been working overtime, trying to bring you clarity, trying to bring you everything that you need, and you are ignoring it. Now, whether it is that you're not writing them down and you're forgetting, so it's not so much that you are intentionally ignoring it, it's more of like a naive type of thing. Or you're not putting whatever it is that they're giving to you as like into practice. So some of you may feel between 9 to 30th that you're part of your spiritual team, whether your ancestors, your angels, and your guides, Pisces, Aries, Cusp, maybe you feel like a silence from them. And it's not so much that they're not there, is that they gave you the answer to this specific problem 3 to 4 months ago in a dream. So if you're having, okay, all right, I just need one example though. Because they're showing me an example of like, if you're having issues, let's say with an aspect of your house, whether it is that you want to do a renovation or something like that, it was shown to you in a dream, but it wasn't a house, it was like a school. Or it wasn't a house, but it was like a church. So it wasn't showing the physical structure exactly the same, and that's maybe why you're having the issue of connecting something. But the people that are supposed to be helping you, or they're supposed to be contributing to this renovation or whatever it is, to this solution, were in the dream, but the setting of it was different. So like, let's say, okay, you may have a business, right? And um, maybe you have to do some renovations to the business, right? And in the dream, you were in a church or you were in a school. It was a completely different building or whatever, and you were doing renovations, or maybe you weren't doing renovations, maybe you were decorating in the dream, but the decorations represents the renovations, if that makes any sense. So like, let's say if if you're having relationships issues, whether romantically or platonic, like in the dream itself, you guys may have been arguing about color when the actual thing was about plants. Let's put it this way. So between 3 to 4 months ago, you had a dream. It may have been a very lucid dream or a very vivid dream. All my dreams are like, I can't give you a dream that I don't taste and feel in your dreams, because that's a daily occurrence for me, a couple of times a day. That's just what's normal for me. But this may have been a dream that was very lucid or it felt very real life. And the solution of the people that were involved in resolving a certain situation were in that dream. Either it was, they keep on showing me like somebody decorating something, but the decorating is a resolution, if that makes any sense. So it may have been in the dream, there may have not been an actual issue. In the dream, it was more of like a celebration, and the people that were helping you put up the celebration are the people that are meant to help you here in this dimension, in this realm, to resolve a certain issue. And that's as much as they're getting that. I'm really trying to push, and I'm getting a lot of pushback, like whoever this is for is going to know exactly what you need. Because this is not for everyone. Collectively, Pisces and Aries, if you're having a difficult time remembering your dream, I'm going to share something that I personally do. Again, not something that I learned from someone or nothing that I read. This is what my guides tell me what to do. Because personally, again, all my dreams are vivid, lucid, and there's a lot into them. You take I personally have these little wine glasses that are probably like about this height. So the wine glasses would be like about this high, right? Like you'll have the stem and then the wine glass. And you don't have to do anything. Like I'm not telling you, if you're not comfortable with it, you don't do it, right? Personally, when I have a lot of downloads coming in through dreams, and it's just and I'm dreaming a lot, like meaning I'm taking a lot of naps, and they start to cross over, right? And then it makes it harder for me to decipher what is what. And it does happen, especially when there's a huge shift collectively. So when I notice that, like the first night, I take the wine glass and I fill it up with just plain water. I don't add anything to it or anything like that. I put it under my bed on the side that I sleep. So like it'll be directly under my pillow. And that water just stays there for 7 days. Usually by the first or second night, my dreams are clear. What goes with what, like they're not bleeding into each other. But maybe if you're having a difficult time remembering your full dreams, or you're having a difficult time understanding what the dreams mean to you specifically, maybe, a glass of water, and it could just be a plain glass. I like glass, like actual glass. I don't like using plastic or anything like that. That's just my personal preference, because I like to see the water, and I just put it right under on the side where I sleep. Everyone that I've told when they have issues with remembering dreams, or when they're having a lot of nightmares, I tell them that that's what I do for 7 days. It doesn't take up to 7 days for it to actually work. Just 7 days is what was given to me, so that's how I do it. So maybe you might have to just do it for a night or two. But it's just kind of like putting it there, and I don't know the science or the metaphysical aspect of it behind it. Again, you guys know that I just follow whatever I'm being told to do, and it works, so that's how I go with things. But usually I learn afterwards. It is sad right after speaking to certain people that everyone put a negative aspect. It's more like they bleed into each other. So I've got like multiple message in a dream, and sometimes it's hard to like decipher. So that's why I do it. So I end up doing that a couple of times a year. But if you're having a hard time, or maybe you want more clarity as to remembering a dream from 3 to 4 months ago, maybe filling up the glass and setting the intention, can I get a recap of the dream? And again, you guys might think I'm crazy. I can get out of a dream and go back into it like right away or weeks later. I'm like, you know what, remember we were in that dream and I didn't get the full story? I want to go back there. And I can literally close my eyes and jump right back into that scene. Yeah, I think narcolepsy gives me that advantage when it comes to that, so I'm not gonna lie. Kids that have narcolepsy are able to do it as well. But whatever answers you're seeking to a resolution, the individuals that are meant to help you have shown up to you in a form of a celebration in a dream. So now we're going to put out 3 cards and see what the energy is for you. And I know some of you want me to bring the answer, but it's like, you know, everybody does their readings differently. Some people can go and read somebody or read other people's energy without permission, if you may. The way that I do my readings, if, like, let's say if I'm doing a personal reading or something like that, and someone's energy comes in, or somebody's inquiring about somebody, I'm very respectful of other people's belief systems and their energy. So if something is not being shown to me, it's for a reason. Maybe somebody involved in the, say, resolution doesn't want me prying into their energy. There are people that do not care about those boundaries, those spiritual boundaries, or whatever it is. Personally, again, I've had my gifts since I was a child. So I am very open to a lot of different, to people's energy in general, but I also, so it's almost like something like somebody doesn't want me invading in their space. So what I'm being told is to go back to what dream you had 3 or 4 months ago. And it may be you. You may be close to me coming into your energy without even knowing it. And I've had it happen where I'll do a recorded reading and I can't get shit. And I'll email the person to be like, look, I tried for like 30 minutes and you're closed off. And they're like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, okay, let's do a video chat and we'll sit there and we'll breathe. And I'm like, I need you to open up. And they're like, but I'm like, I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to breathe with me. And then they start to trust me and they start to breathe with me and then they open and everything just flows out. So sometimes, you know, we put up shields without noticing it or without knowing it, or sometimes we just block certain energies without knowing it. And unfortunately, I'm not unfortunately, fortunately for me, I'm very comfortable with respecting other people's spiritual boundaries and with not going over what their guides or their angels or whatever don't want me to go over, because that's the same way that I expect my spiritual team to protect me, right? Pa, está cortando mucho el internet. Se me está frizando. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close out with your last 3 cards, Pisces, Aries, because I'm being told to just let it be. We have the Layla card. Again, that card has been coming up a lot. We have Dance of the Divine Feminine and the Dissolving Light. We have the number 34, 42, and 3 for those of you that are into numbers. So there is a sense of here of whatever resolution you need to the situation is only within yourself. You can pay 100 people to go ahead and try and give you the answers. You're not going to get the answer, including myself. So this is one of those things that the answer has already been given to you, very clear and simple. You just missed the message either because you were preoccupied with something, or for some of you, whoever it is that is meant to help you resolve a certain issue is somebody that maybe you haven't talked to in a while, somebody that you had a point out with. And let's say if you're selling property that you owned with somebody else, or there is a finalizing of something, some of you don't want to be in contact with this person, even if it means finalizing something. And that's why you're hesitant to be like, well, is there a way around it? It's almost like, let's say, and this is going to sound stupid, and this is kind of like the way Spirit is trying to say, like you're trying to divorce somebody without having to confront the person that you're divorcing, right? So you want to divorce them, but you don't want them to be served with the papers. So that may be the reason why you're trying not to follow the guidance, because maybe you don't want to be in contact with somebody. Maybe you don't want to reach out to somebody where either their signature is needed for something in order to resolve something. And you're going to have to get past that. You're going to have to get past that, because if you're like, let's say if you and I have a business together and we decided to go our separate ways, and now we're going to sell it and I need to give you your half, regardless of how things ended between us, I'm not going to cheat you out of your half, because at the end of the day, I'm just cheating myself in the future, right? So I'm going to reach out and I'm going to be like, okay, we need to sign these papers, and then you get your half, I get my half, we go our separate ways. So just because you're opening up that dialogue with somebody that you cut off or cut ties with, this communication, I don't know who he's talking to, but he's talking about the baby to somebody. So just because you're communicating with them in order to finalize something, that is not, for those of you that don't want to communicate with this person to resolve this issue, that is not a green light to allow this person back into your freaking life, okay? They're coming in temporarily just to fix or resolve this, and then they're going to go right back on their way. So if you're afraid that this person is going to linger or stay around, because there is this almost like, you don't want to have to deal with this, you don't want to have to let go of this, you don't want to fall prey to this person again or something like that. And maybe that's why you know that you have to contact someone, whether it's through their attorney or through whatever it is, and you don't want to deal with this person, but it's like their signature or their something that they bring is what resolves something. Maybe you're staying with the house after a divorce or something like that, and your ex needs to sign something of that sort, but there's somebody here that you don't want to communicate with, that you need to communicate in order to have something finalized or resolved. Well, guys, that is all that I have for the Cusp reading. So again, if I do stay past tomorrow, which is almost 99%, I will do the weekly, the Cusp, and the Love on their actual day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if I'm still here live. And I won't be using the water and candle until I am back home in the States. It just makes it easier. The setup is a little different. We have other things to worry about. So obviously the dogs are not here, but there's other stuff that we have to kind of adjust to. But that is pretty much it that I have for all of you guys. As always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. Thank you to all of those that have been donating. It is greatly appreciated. And if you have not liked, shared, or subscribed, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable for posting. For personal readings, all that information is down below in the description. I will not be doing any personal readings while I am out of the country. You are more than welcome to go ahead and schedule those, but they will not be done or completed until I am back in my normal setting. So just letting you know, you're more than welcome to go and book and etc. I am still thinking about it. I think I'm maybe running a sale, a back to school sale for parents, especially those of you that have kids in high school and stuff like that, and kind of want to know the gist of like what's going on and what the year looks like. I have done those for clients. So that is something that I'm thinking of doing when I get back home, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm looking into the details. But I am going to take about a 20-minute or so break. I'm going to try to put the timestamp on this video if possible. And we will meet back in about 20 minutes or so to do the live love connection readings. If I am not back in about 20 minutes, it could be a couple of reasons. We lost power, because we do have rolling blackouts in the Dominican Republic, or something else came up, but I will try my best to get the love readings done by today. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Mwah! Love you all. Bye-bye. Now let's see if I remember how to end the lives. Where is it? I don't even know. Okay, I think it's right here.